Good morning and welcome to Little by Little, a short time in God's Word. Today, October 31st, we got Job 22 and Mark 7 and 8. We're going to turn to the Gospel of Mark and look at some of the things that are happening as Jesus continues his ministry. Here in chapter 7, we've got traditions and here's what we've always done, right? The Pharisees and the religious guys, when it comes to ceremonial washing, for example. And so they asked, verse 5, why do your disciples not walk according to the tradition of the elders, but eat with defiled hands? Can't handle it. Why? And he said, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, hypocrites, as it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men. You leave the commandment of God and hold to the tradition of men. In fact, he gives an example of how they do that. And this idea of Corban, instead of trying to take care of their parents, well, this money is a sign for God, so I can't help you. And Jesus' point here is you're going about things in a seemingly religious way, in a seemingly God-honoring way, but you're missing the point of relationship. You're missing the point of love and of care for others. That's not okay. And it's easy to do because we get into our routines, we get into what is and what might be. And he follows it up with talking about, here's what really messes you up, right? It's not days and months and years. It's not festivals and feasts. It's not washing or not washing. It's from within. It's not foods. It's the heart. And out of the heart comes the wickedness and that which defiles. And that's what he says in verse 20 and 21, 22, and 23. The contrast to that then and the Syrophoenician woman is pretty stark, right? Because she's full of faith. They were full of fear because things weren't lining up how they wanted. It wrecked, messed with. Jesus was coming against their tradition, they thought. And it wasn't so much that. He was just seeking the heart. He was seeking faith. And he finds it in a place and in a person who is not a Jew. And that's common, what we see here in the Gospels. And she's just desperate for the crumbs from the Lord, for anything that God would do for her, And that's the heart that God desires for us. Not that we would get caught up in, we've always done it this way, or this is what it's supposed to look like, but that we'd be open to God working and moving outside of our comfort zone in ways in which we might not expect, but that we would see, okay, this is helping, this is serving, this is loving, so I can get behind that and see how God would bless that. Till next time, keep growing little by little.